Who is Jose Rizal? A place where journey has been tough, an era of fighting against injustice. A man fighting for justice, freedom for the people and the nation, whose monumental contributions to our social awakening as a nation changed history forever and proved to be still relevant up to this day, whose unparalleled dedication for equality through education started and keep the gears running for a pursuit for peace and freedom, whose first-hand experiences with the inequalities our fellow women were subjected and to set up a fire inside his nationalistic heart, whose dreams and aspirations for the motherland manifested a movement striving to free the Filipinos from the shackles and struggles showed by the Spaniards. A movement of the Filipinos for the Filipinos and by the Filipinos. This is the story of the trials, tribulations, and execution of Jose Rizal, our beloved national hero who strived for peace, equality, and love for our country. And from here, you will witness his final walk in life, how he changed everything and saved our motherland.
5 days you. 5 days you say the same damn words like a broken muñeca. Not guilty for this? No culpable para eso? All for the sake of what? For patriotic services?
No, you are wrong. Serving in the name of my country would bring me great joy that none could ever compare with, even from the lavish lives that you all have.
See, there you go again. You're Moreira por eso. Do you not admit all the crimes against you?
No, I deny any affiliation that could link me to the revolution. See, I wasn't even part of such thing. I clearly stated that I was...
And that's where I came in. You see, we Spaniards are known to be not too lenient with the things that we want. Let's say, a deep passion surging in the deeps of our hearts. A certain passion that even others, such as yourself, would try to emulate in your own way. Need I say more, Senor Di Masalang? You didn't think that you would be able to hide your pain name forever? Would you?
I used it in home.
CEO! And that was a big mistake. Tell me, do these 5 days of endless chatter mean nothing to you? Digame, what are you trying to prove?
But I am innocent!
Innocente de qué? Look at these letters. They are all against you. Mera, a letter of Antonio Luna to Mariano Ponce stating your connection to Filipino reforms. Letters to family about deportation, your connection to propaganda in España. But these are... A poem of tyranny. A letter from Carlos Oliver. A poem stating that you would free the Philippines from oppression.
I have told you so before, Colonel, and if you're trying to ask for something new, I suggest you give up while you still can.
For someone so smart, you disappoint me, senor. Do you know what you're saying here, Rizal? There are no turning backs from this. From this moment, nada.
Then, can only move forward.
Forward it is. All the findings from this investigation will be handed out to the appointed judge advocate. Remember, senor, you brought this to yourself.
Adelante. ¿Qué es, General Blanco?
Saludos a usted. I have received news from Colonel Oliver. He wants to appoint you as a judge advocate for this infamous Rizal from Calamba.
Oh, that Indio. Why am I not surprised?
I said not to restrain oneself in handling this case. Personally, I think this man really has nothing to be condemned rather than writing his silly books.
So you think this man is innocent? Agree to the idiotic rumors of the patriotic Rizal? Here to free the slaves from the Spanish clutches? You believe all that?
I believe that you as a judge should be more objective, regardless of who stands before you. Careful, Kapitan. I still have a few more days before I leave my post.
Of course you do. As a favor, could you please give this to Don Nicolas de la Peña? I'm sure he knows what to do.
$1 million? $1 million is for this house?
Naturally, that's his indemnity.
Keeps in prison? Given a trial?
Can you not read, General?
I can. Neil, just give him a lawyer, De La Peña.
Point taken. To be defended by a civil law, no by an army officer. All the ranks from the first and second lieutenant in the Spanish army. There, let him choose. He must know a few of them.
If he doesn't, there may be around 100. But these army officers we're talking about.
If he lacks the nerve to simply be thankful to us, then that's not my problem. I have many more things to take care of, rather than playing alone with this foolish Indian.
I'm beginning to doubt the way things are handled here.
And how are things being handled here? Care to take my position, considering that you would soon lose yours?
No importa. I will inform him right away.
Tell me, how many can you recognize?
One.
And it was Don Luis Taviel de Andrade, the first lieutenant of the artillery, which was the brother of Jose Taviel de Andrade that was with him in Calamba. Don Luis gladly accepted his task to defend his brother's fable of Dr. Rizal of Calamba. For days, Taviel de Andrade and Jose Rizal spent their time formulating plans for ours, preparing for the trial by questioning the ordeals, looking for the lawfuls, and searching for solutions. On most days, they would fight over an idea and be trusted with each other. But there are those rare times where they would cooperate and finally piece their minds together in agreements.
Now that the accused is chosen as defensor, the following charges are presented as follows. Senor Jose Mercado Rizal is accused as the principal organizer and the living soul of the Filipino insurrection, the founder of societies, periodicals, and books dedicated to fomenting and propagating ideas for rebellion.
I do not understand. No entiendes. How could he be charged with a rebellion?
I did write the La Liga Filipina, but it was a civic
Lo
association.
siento, senor, but I'm afraid you would take further statements in the politics of the state. Farewell to you both.
Mr. Rizal, I do not know what is happening inside that head of yours, but I need you to cooperate with me.
We can't do anything. It's us against the country.
No, it's us against injustice.
Imagine spending a well-known holiday all alone inside a small cell in jail, thinking of the prospect of death awaiting you. That's how it was for Rizal. In a cold, dark room, probably imagining having spent it with his family and friends, only to think back about his situation as a framed revolutionist awaiting for his death sentence. How sadder can it be to spend this last week in his life without anyone he loved and only with the revisiting thoughts of freedom and sadness resonating in his battered body, mind, and soul, accompanying him by himself alone. That's how he spent it. That's how he spent his last day of Christmas.
Dr. Jose Rizal E. Mercado, who owes it all to the Spain since it was in her universities that he studies in medicine, is one of the principal, if not the principal figure in the uprising. May we call on the prosecutor.
Dr. Rizal, the man behind the unlawful literary works, namely No Limitangere, Annotation to the History of the Philippines by Morga, and El Filibusterismo, along with the rest, imprinted the idea of wars against religious order on his people to protect this mere colony. It is no doubt Jose Rizal is the perpetrator of the rebellion, masking himself as the good guy, the hero guiding this people along with his treacherous crime as the symbol of catalyst of the rebellion. He must suffer the consequences through penalty of penal code by punishment of death.
The defending consultant may now take the floor.
Throughout the years, Rizal's name has been a war cry of the people, symbolizing the icon of the revolution. Claim his name and presence to be a threat that causes a raid among the people between the Hispania and the Filipinas. On what grounds exactly?
Has Rizal ever spoke of turning his back from Spain out loud? Has he hated our motherland so much to the point of savagely destroying our sacred country directly? Has he gallantly waved a weapon of choice and demanded bloodshed for change to happen? I don't think so. Although his so-called controversialities of literary works sold him as the subject of hate and rage, these works of critical judgment is an advocation of the Philippines' rights as a step to national security and independence of this country. Through his daring mind and skills, he obtained the respect of his people alone with good intentions to the Spaniards, even with those who rate him as a traitor. And because of these biases, it made clear that judging him fairly is impossible from this angle. Now, has the prosecutors any pang of guilt? Did Rizal's theoretical standing of how our country should be placed on equal ground of respect showed inconsistency? Is that why you reject it? Is that why you suppress it? Or was it just indecency and battered egos that made the decisions for us? In an objective perspective, his work doesn't even add up to directly aggravate ties and encourage an uprising. Rizal affirms for 4 years, since 1892 to 1896, as an exile in Dapitan. He stayed shut from anything that goes political. Even his encounter with Don Pio Valenzuela, who asked him to join and pioneer to revolt by coming with them and saving himself by escaping this inevitable day from his fate, he still rejected it. From this, we can rationally give thought to the verdict. In that so, we plead in the name of blind justice that he is not guilty. The judges cannot be vindictive. The judges can only be just. From those victimized by the revolt directly and indirectly, losing the ones they love, please don't let the desires of revenge and contempt get ahead of us. Giving that part to those who are in battle, let us speak of this trial fairly and objectively. Let us judge Jose Rizal, Mercado y Alonso, not for the sake of revenge, but for the sake of justice. The defense rests.
Does the accused wish anything to add in his defense?
Concerning the rebellion since July 6, 1892, I have not engaged in politics until June 1 of this year, when Dr. Valenzuela came to notify me about an uprising, thus providing that I had no prior contact with them. For I were in touch, I would have already known about such a grave matter as an uprising. Another negative proof They do not hold any previous letters from me. They exploited my name very cruelly, and at the last moment, by surprise, they wanted to take me. Why did they not contact me earlier? Possibly because they know that I, although less than conceited, was resigned about my exile, and I refused to consider many various schemes to escape from the Pitan. Regarding the rebellion on July 6 of 1892, since my stay in the Pitan, I have not engaged in politics until June 1, when Dr. Valenzuela informed me about it, which I rejected him and advised him not to. That was our first engagement with each other. Therefore, that was the first time I've heard of the uprising revolution. If I was the chief of the revolution, why was I not consulted by the revolutionists in the hour of their planning stage? Why not where they have ruined my profile and rescued me in pursuit of their spite against Hispania? Another fact suggests that I had a previous letters as evidence of being in cahoots with them. That is false. As stated previously, I have no contact with them until June 1. Knowing this now, they have sullied and abused my good name without me being aware of it. If I was guilty, I would have flown to Singapore and going back. If I was indeed the perpetrator, I wouldn't have stayed as exile, but instead fled to Moroventa and not invest in the Pitan of whom I was familiar with. Why did they not visit? Because they know I have left politics behind, and they are aware that I am not in favor of obtaining freedom through a destructible revolt. All I desire for my motherland Philippines is to know and experience the essence of liberty, not through brute force and bloody wars, but through the value of education.
The court will be having a short recess to discuss the further implications of the trial. The final decisions has been made. The judges have concluded in this verdict that they find the defendant guilty. This tribunal condemns Don Jose Rizal Mercado y Alonso with the penalty of death, so decreed and ordered by the ordinary court-martial of post, as witnessed by the president and the members of the tribunal.
The day before his execution, visitors came to see him. It was a very grueling and exhausting day, both physically and emotionally. Some faces he knew, some faces wasn't familiar with, and some faces he wouldn't wish he valued more of his time when he had a chance. But never did he expect his grueling situation until he saw the ever-loving face of his beloved mother.
Oh, sorry. Please forgive me.
Can't believe it. It's not true. It's not true.
You've always been in the side of right and just. This is unfair, Pepe. You can't just leave us like this.
To my dear sister and to you, Ma, I am so sorry, but I guess this is the reality now. I'd rather die with dignity than living closed eyes in these evil doings in this nation. But until my last breath, I will honor our country and remain loyal to my fellow men. Josefa, I'm very much glad to see you.
How did this bad even happen to you? You do not deserve this.
I know, the time will come that the justice will prevail.
Oh wait, I am with someone who's been longing to see you.
Ah, my dear Josephine. My time has come to be united to you, but to be separated forever.
My dear Joe, I really wanted to go with your family, but as what I had written to you, I chose to go alone. For in the presence of your family, I feel like we're not really free. I really wanted to see you, but sensibly enough, stayed behind during these past days. I know, my dear. It's really hard for me to go and bid you goodbye. Love, I love you forever. Love, I will leave thee never. Ever to me, precious to thee, Never to say goodbye. Heart bound to heart. Never be apart.
My dear Josephine, I'll be always loving you even to my last breath.
Will always be in my heart too.
Look, Father, if I should assent to all what you say and sign me all you want to just to please me, neither believing nor feeling, I would be a hypocrite, then would be offending God. How about having a deal? I will make the retraction paper that you wanted me to do, but in return, you will allow me to marry my lady, Josephine Brackett, and produce a marriage certificate.
Jose Rizal, do you take Josephine Bracken to be your wife? Do you promise to be faithful to her in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, to love her and to honor her all the days of your life? I do, Father. Josephine Bracken, do you take Jose Rizal to be your husband? Do you promise to be faithful to him in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, to love him, to honor him all the days of your life?
I do, Father.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride.
Josephine, Josephine, who to these shores have come looking for a nest, a home like a wandering swallow. If your fate is taking you to Japan, China, or Shanghai, don't forget that on these shores, a heart for you beats high. Adios, dolce extranjera, mi amiga, mi alegría. Professor Ferdinand Blumentritt, my dear brother, when you receive this letter, I shall be dead. Tomorrow at 7, I shall be shot, but I am innocent of the crime of rebellion. I am going to die with a tranquil conscience. Goodbye, my best friend, my dearest friend, and never think ill of me. To my family, I ask you for forgiveness for the pain I caused you. But someday, I shall have to die, and it's better that I die now in the plenitude of my conscience. Dear parents, brothers and sisters, give thanks to God that I might preserve my tranquility before my death. I die resigned, hoping that with my death you will be left in peace. Ah, it is better to die than to live suffering. Console yourselves. I enjoin you to forgive one another the little meanness of your life, and try to live united in peace and good harmony. Treat your old parents as you should like to be treated by your children later. Love them very much in my memory. My beloved Father, pardon me for the pain with which I repay you. For sorrows and sacrifices for my education, I did not want, nor did I prefer it. Goodbye, Father. Goodbye.
What a beautiful morning. On these days like this, I just take a walk with my sweetheart.
Atensyon! Apote!
Kun, sumado mes!
Fuego!
It was exactly 7:03 in the morning. Age 35 years, 5 months, and 11 days.